Hello, and thank you for being here. If you or someone you love has recently heard the words, you have ALS, this is a space for you. We're going to walk through the first steps, the really overwhelming first days and weeks, and we're going to do it together, one step at a time. This quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The first challenge isn't about making a plan or figuring out logistics. It's about how to handle that flood of thoughts and fears. Your mind just races. And the very first thing you need to know is that this feeling, this overwhelm, it's completely 100% normal. So let's start right there. In these first few days, before you make a single phone call or do any research, the very first step is just to breathe. It's about giving yourself permission to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Maybe it's numbness, maybe it's panic, maybe it's some weird kind of determination, or all of it at once. You don't have to be ready for anything yet. Your only job right now is to find your footing. Now, here's a mental tool that can be incredibly helpful right away. It's learning to separate the facts from the fear stories. Okay, so what's the difference? The facts are what your clinical team has actually confirmed, period. The fear stories, well, that's what our minds do, right? They race ahead, they spin these narratives trying to protect us. The goal here isn't to stop the fear, but to just recognize the difference and bring your focus back to what is real and true today. And please take this next message to heart. There is this huge urge to get online and research everything, to become an expert overnight. But you don't have to. You absolutely don't. You can absorb this journey in pieces. It is more than okay to pace yourself. All right, so once you've had a moment to just breathe, the first concrete action step is to make sure you have the right medical team in your corner. And that all starts with confirming the diagnosis. You might be wondering, a second opinion? I'm already exhausted. Why go through that? Well, here's the thing. ALS can actually be really difficult to diagnose, and most doctors see very, very few cases in their entire careers. So getting an opinion from a specialist at a dedicated ALS clinic, it's not about mistrusting your first doctor. It's about getting certainty. It's about getting access to the most experienced team possible, right from the very start. And this is where something called a multidisciplinary clinic comes in. This is really considered the gold standard for ALS care. And here's why. Instead of you running all over town to different appointments, the experts all come to you in one coordinated visit. And we know from research that this model leads to better outcomes and a higher quality of life. So what does this look like? In a single visit, you can meet your entire core team. We're talking the neurologist, the respiratory therapist, speech pathologist, PT, OT, a nutritionist, a social worker, the whole team. The benefit is huge. You leave with one single comprehensive plan, not a confusing pile of separate recommendations. Your medical team is absolutely vital, but they're only one part of the picture. The other part is your personal support system. So this next step is all about building that circle of people who are going to walk alongside you emotionally and practically. I just want to pause on this for a second because it completely reframes what it means to ask for help. Building a support circle isn't a sign of weakness. It's not something you do if you can't handle it. It is an active, essential part of your care plan. Think of it this way. It's a form of treatment for the isolation and the overwhelm this journey can bring. So what does this circle actually look like? Well, it can be really helpful to think about it in terms of roles, Maybe you need a note taker who can come to appointments and just listen. Maybe you need a logistics handler to help with phone calls and paperwork, an emotional anchor you can just be real with, and maybe a peer community, other people who just get it. When you give people specific roles, it makes it so much easier for them to know how to help. Okay, let's talk about the internet. That urge to search for everything is so real. But it often leads to what we could call doom research, right? You find the worst case stories, raw statistics with zero context. It's terrifying. A much, much more empowering approach is to channel all that energy into asking focused, good questions for your actual care team. These are the kinds of questions that turn anxiety into action. They're concrete, they're answerable, and they're focused on what you can actually do right now. This approach helps you build a real partnership with your medical team and gives you back a sense of control in your own care. And that brings us to what might be one of the most important mindset shifts on this entire journey. It's understanding the critical difference between searching for a cure and actively engaging in care. Let's look at this side by side. A cure is not yet available. That's the reality. But care, proactive, compassionate, expert care that is absolutely available right now, and that care is incredibly powerful. It improves quality of life, it protects dignity, and it can even extend survival. Focusing on care isn't giving up, it's the opposite. It is actively shaping how you live. So, what does this proactive care actually look like? Let's start with breathing. A lot of people think of breathing support as something for way, way down the road. But using non-invasive ventilation early on can actually reduce fatigue, help you sleep better, and ease anxiety. It's about preserving your energy and well-being from the very beginning. And the exact same thing is true for nutrition. Addressing any changes in swallowing early with help from a specialist protects your strength and your energy. You have to start thinking of nutrition support as a tool, a way to maintain comfort and power. It's not a sign of loss. It is a source of strength. And finally, communication. Planning for communication options early on, long before you might even need them, can take so much fear out of the equation. Our ability to communicate, it's so tied to our sense of who we are. Protecting that connection is a fundamental part of proactive care. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about this next part. Addressing the emotional and psychological side of ALS is a standard, essential part of treatment. Feeling overwhelmed or lost or angry, that's not a sign of weakness. It's a completely predictable and normal response to this diagnosis. Seeking mental health support is medical care. So with all of this, where does that leave us with a word like hope? For a lot of people, that word can feel kind of empty or even cruel right now. So let's redefine it. Let's turn it into something honest and sustainable and grounded in the here and now. This is what a grounded hope can look like. See, it's not about denying reality. It's hope for things that are actually achievable. Hope for a great care team. Hope for comfort and for dignity. Hope for real connection with the people you love. And hope for good moments, day by day. It's hope as your daily bread, not some far-off 5-year plan. So, to pull it all together, here are your next steps. And remember, just one at a time. Number 1, confirm the diagnosis with a specialist. 2, start building your support circle. 3, focus on proactive care. And number 4, through all of it, always keep your life and your identity front and center. And that brings us right back to where we started. After all this information, the very next step can be this simple. Right now, in this moment, just breathe.